little differently compared to what you're currently doing. I don't even know if I would have brought my kids when I was baby, because that'd have been a lot.
Honestly, it will be probably a lot. We've been trying to get used to, like, you know, walking around with her, whether it's in the stroller or in like the little, what do you call it, like a sling and things like that. She's close to us, so we can get used to like how she's going to be when she's in places that's kind of like loud and crowded. You know, we have rules, like we're not going to bring her to the expo floor, like the vendors. It's just going to be too many people. Also elevators, escalators, like trying to navigate those. So we have like some rules we're putting in place. Believe me, after the con, we'll definitely give you a heads up on how well it worked. There's probably a reason most people do not do this. But because we're kind of a team, you know, we're planning our schedule out so that we can make sure, you know, we keep her kind of in like the general, I would say like above expo level areas. But like I said, this could be a terrible idea and we will figure it out. But I've heard other people do it. A lot of research goes into it. And the goal is to make sure she's comfortable and, you know, make sure that everybody at the con and spaces that we're going to be in are also comfortable. So she's probably not going to be like any panel rooms or anything like that. We'll mostly have her at like where I hang out, registration, and then like the open area where like the photo shoots and stuff are.
Yeah, I'm excited. EJ, would you have brought 3 months to the convention? To a convention?
No,
you guys are like. Listen, someone on the Beltline did tell me, they're like, you should bring this baby in the house, and I was like, no, that's where we've been in the house. Like, I don't want to be in the house no more. Like, my pregnancy was being in the house. Like, I'm ready to go outside. So
she's ready outside.
So, with that being said, right, let's think about going to convention. So tell the people out here, right, because I know we ran this back for a second year where we get a chance to talk with you before the convention. I know we normally do about a week. We just had a little bit mixing schedule. So out there, fans, apologize about that. But so run this back. What is the special thing about Momocon? I know I'm gonna ask the first question and I'll kind of lean on JB and then EJ in the process. But so what is the special thing differently compared to the 20th year versus the 21st year, right? Because you guys are on a different milestone right now. Because I don't know how many conventions last. I believe you guys will be 30 years, right? Because that you guys are absolutely amazing. One of the top conventions I enjoy going to every year. So what is that stepping stone to get to that 21st year versus the 20th year? What does it look like right now?
Yeah. So I want to first give a shout out just to like the con chairs. Jess and Christopher, they have made every year even better than the last one. My title is actually, I'm a con director, but I'm the senior director of media. So I assist with, you know, any department that's pretty much is creating content on behalf of the convention. Really, they do what they do. I'm just like the go-to if they have any questions in the interim. The person who actually manages the social media and most of the marketing for the convention is Jess. So again, they are always seeing the social chatter that's coming through, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, in the groups, Discord. They're able to kind of take all of that and make every year even better than the last. So while our 20th year was just very exciting as a landmark, that we made it this far. Year 21 was able to bring in some amazing guests from different genres. So one of the major titles that people are familiar with is like the show Critical Role. It's like a D&D like gaming podcast, and there's like a group of people who are very popular who do that. We have the team, the cast from there that are coming through. If anyone's familiar also with like Vox Machina, they are the voice cast of that animation, which is based off of their gaming runs. So they have had pretty much like sold out photo shoots, sold out fan meet and greet lines even before the convention started. So that's really exciting that we have so many people excited for them coming through. It just highlights even more of the gaming part of Momocon. As well as, you know, speaking of anime, Dan has just been a like global phenomenon for an anime. We have voice actors that are coming from that.
Overrated stuff. Oh my God.
I mean, I hear you. Believe me. When people compare to Fooly Cooly, I say Yeah, right. But what's interesting is Carrie Walgren, who was in Fooly Cooley, the main voice of the main character in Fooly Cooley, is also in Dan to Dan. So there, we can't totally like poop on it because it has this like powerhouse of a voice who is with
Shout out to
Dan
your
Dan.
media training. That was a great.
But I mean, but believe me, if we had more time, catch me at the con, I would definitely tell you all the things I like and don't like about Dan to Dan. But I have, however, watched all of it, so that means it must be at least a little bit good. But AJ Beckles, who's just an amazing voice actor, Black voice actor who can do a range of voices, as well as like his own like indie spots. He will be there as well to be able to kind of showcase that voicing those main characters. So it's just always very exciting to have what the fans are talking about presented at Momocon. So this year's like that's been a highlight. And then I know I've been like, speaking of meeting training, I've been talking forever. You didn't really ask this question yet, but I wanted to mention Wonder Festival being part of the convention as well, which is a festival that highlights 3D printing statues, not just 3D printing, because that kind of downgrades it, but like statues, figures, like really high level merchandise that has only ever been, it really started in Japan. It's never been to America. And Momocon is able to welcome Wonder Festival and provide about 50,000 square feet of exhibit space just so they can bring their merchandise and allow people to purchase things that would usually only be available online or from Japan or internationally acquired. So it's really cool to be the first spot in the United States to give them a on-site presence and allow that connection for our fans.
That was amazing. And by the way, I apologize for your title because I remember we've been talking for a little while, and I remember as the media director, but now you've upgraded.
Oh yeah.
All the
So, and the media relations is still run by Dana, who is amazing. So, like, we kind of just like not swap places, but like she manages the media lounge, the interviews, things like that. And I, again, as a senior director, my whole goal is just to make sure the other directors who are amazing have the support that they need going into the convention and then like during the convention as well.
Well, that's awesome. That's by the way, is AJ married yet? Because I know he proposed like in 24.
Oh, that's a great question.
He did do his proposal, right? JB, he proposed to
that was last year. Yeah,
there's a voice too that he brought down there at the same time. Did he not? Is it 24?
I believe that was 24. I was 26 now. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was 24.
You had two proposals. You had that one, and then you had two cosplayers did it. So you had a cosplayer.
Kage and Afro Cocoa Puffs. That was 2 years ago.
That was 24, and they also had another one with AJ did the proposal. In the same token, proposed to had a fiance. I was just curious. I mean,
same year.
Correct. Everybody actually want to get married, so that's actually really cool.
That is exciting.
I'm excited about seeing the Wonderfest. I did not know anything about that, and I'm glad because that would mean I need to do some research and also look at the show to figure that out too. This is not the first year, right? Or is this the first year?
This is the first year that Wonderfest has had a presence at Momocon, and like I said, it's the first time that they've ever been in America. Usually, this is like a Japanese show.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of like a show. It's like a exhibit within an exhibit. And I remember seeing mention, show within a show. I remember there was mention from one of the local Atlanta news sources that was like, Wonderfest is coming to Atlanta during Memorial Weekend, and a bunch of people in the comments were like, "Oh, well, too bad that's Momocon weekend." And other people were like, "No, it's literally the same. They're in the same space. Like it's in Momocon, so you won't have to miss it." So it's like, "Oh, they can't compete with Momocon." It's like, no, they can't. So they're gonna come. I mean, they probably could, but they're inside Momocon. So yeah, if you are a figurine buyer, this would be a definite space. Again, you just use your Momocon pass and ticket, and you can explore that space.
That's cool. All right, I actually like that. JB, you have a question for her?
I do. I had Dana on my show a couple weeks ago, and I had asked her what I'm about to ask you. Momocon's my home convention. I love Momocon, and the love and care that y'all put into it is evident on a year-over-year basis. So, for you, when does the work begin from the moment last year ended into thought and the energy into processes going into this year? When does that process begin for you?
So thankfully, we have a little bit of downtime. I also volunteer with Dragon Con, so that's like my end of summer show. But I do something different. I'm more programming level. I would say around October, November of each year is when we make sure to reset all of our application forms. Redo any questions that we need to look at, review any reports from, people who came on site, the numbers, things like that. That's when we should be doing all of that, making sure that those applications are up on the website. And then from then, we pretty much casually will, not I say casually, but like to protect our mental health and the increased amount of people who are applying now for press between about October, November, probably hardcore more in January, February is when we actually start reviewing and responding to applicants. And this year, and JB, I feel like we had did you may have emailed, but
I emailed you.
Yes. So we had so many applicants and we had to cut off in February. Usually we will cut off in April. Or like right at the end of March, at the beginning of April. And we just had so many applicants that we could not keep it open outside of like larger, like really large platforms. That said, we got a lot of information about what, even for 2027, we have a lot of information about what we will and may need to be more critical of going forward to make sure that this process is a little bit more streamlined for us, so that we're not overwhelmed with applicants, and we're making sure like the spots that we're providing are actually giving us good content before and during the convention, as well as of course after the convention. But there's always like a shift in some learnings towards like the tail end of after we reviewed hundreds of applications and we're like, okay, next year we need to make sure that we're focused on this. We give this much information ahead of time. We ask for this much information from our applicants so that this is not such a chore for us and gives those who are applying enough time and information to know like what to look for, if that makes sense.
It does.
That's actually really tough because I know we missed that we missed that time frame too, because normally I the panel one is normally the strictest one, right? That's the one that you really need to get in before PizzaCon is the same weekend that you guys normally have like it needs to be in prior to it. So I caught that one, and then just trying to say, and then I looked back and I was like, media is February too. I was like, oh wow, that shocked me because normally I have a couple of days to be able to do that. Couple months down actually line. So I mean, I get it, 100%. I'm not.
No, and I get it. Like it was hard for us to make those decisions as well, and to have to like let people know who had been coming to the convention that like we had such a hard cutoff. And when I say we have hundreds of applicants and hundreds of passes still that we approved, and we did not approve everybody. So we have to be really cognizant of not just, the amount of passes that we give out, but also the space that we have like in our lounge, the space that's kind of like the convention space is huge, but most of the space we have in our lounge and our interview rooms, and just like the timing of like being fair across the board. Like I said, there are people who were even like so close, like hundreds of thousands of followers, that we had to just be like, unfortunately, this is not the year. Like we really have closed the account. But let's, be more. We'll make sure that we are more considerate about when we open up our application in the future, so that everybody has a chance to at least apply. But yeah, it's just, again, we had a wonderful 2025, and we know that the interest has really increased for 2026. And so now we know what we can do better from our department to also make applicants more informed.
Well, if you got any cancelees, I would love to actually be there. Just,
For real.
Ain't no panel better than the CNA panel. I'm just gonna put it out there.
absolutely.
That one's your panel? Is that
Yeah.
the one you guys are doing?
Yeah,
We have 4 panels that we actually, 3. Sorry.
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Did you guys got passes for those?
yes.
Okay. See, I don't feel so bad. I feel a little bad, but I don't feel so bad because panels is always good.
We ain't
Like I
trying to
said,
strong arm you. I'm just saying ain't nothing better than the CNA panel. That's all.
okay. I will put it in my app schedule so I can make sure I can know like the when and where. I live by the app during the convention, so
8:30 Thursday, Friday, and then 10 a.m. on Saturday. I won't see you at 10, but I expect to see you at 8:30. Just saying. So
okay.
But Saturday gonna be the only one I'm available for. Got some other stuff going on, but I'm coming down, real quick on Saturday.
I should be for all 3.
Okay.
We'll see.
So that's so yeah. If you have any, people actually say I'm not, but I can't come. Then hey, that's their loss. I'll be there.
We will fill in gladly.
Yeah, and if you have, I mean, if you're coming, I know that you're coming. You could always cover the convention. It just does not allow you, without the press pass, you can't get into the media lounge. But we will still have the media lounge next year. You can still cover the convention so that when you do your application 2027, you'll have content to submit. And I'll give you kind of like a heads up. We are really focused on like content across the floor of the convention. So, I mean, covering panels is also really good. That's very helpful. Showing the expo hall. I'm not saying you have to like do man on the street and talk to every person, like random people and do like what are those like showdown sort of content. That is really fun, but not everybody has to do that. But the goal is to, we have a huge focus of cosplay every single year, which is amazing, but focusing on the parts of the events that people are less likely to see or know about is always helpful. And case in point, if you ever look in the Facebook group for Momocon and you see people who are like, I'm a first timer, do they have this, this, and this? Those are the things that we would love people to talk about and cover, if that applies also to their audience, because that way, when they're like searching something on like YouTube or they search Momocon on really YouTube is like the most searchable or things like, or across Facebook, it's like, oh, it's more likely that that shows up, and that your content could show up and kind of like answer that question for them. So I would say that's like a really good thing to like get you ahead of the game. Just to knowing that that kind of content is always helpful. And especially if posted like, right after the con is good because people are making the decision to buy their passes for next year, but even closer to the convention, like resharing it to showcase and then putting it on your application to showcase that like, hey, I remember this one last year and this could be really good information for anybody who's coming for the first time or second time and now have the time to like explore this stuff.
So okay, I'm glad you actually point that out, right? And EJ, give me 1 second. I'm gonna have you ask your question, right? So walk me through that, right? So if you're talking about so are you looking for the content of what somebody can see out of our eyes but see it digitally? Is that what you're referring to? Or we'll kind of walk me through that a little bit on how the engagement that you're actually looking for versus the norm of your talking with special guests, your panels, interviewing cosplayers, right? Walk me through that. What are you kind of
right? So
what you're looking for exactly?
Gotcha. So that content is also still really good. So I would say like a step up from that would be, the indie game developers. They are a group of, creators who are pretty much consistently on the expo floor because they can't really leave their space. They are there, showcasing their games. They really would love the exposure because they have games you could pretty much pay for free minus the cost of like your badge. You could sit at their booth, you could play a game that's never been played before that you probably can't even get on Steam or is newly on Steam. And there are tons of those indie gamers and indie developers who again would really love some additional like showcase of their work. So that's like really good to show, because not a lot of the attendees may know that exists until they come on site. We actually have like 1 million this year. We have more than 1 million square feet of gaming. So I would say really focus on, or you don't really focus on, but like if it's within your purview, take the time to talk to some of those gamers. Maybe look at even some of the tabletop gamers. Last year, one of my friends learned and played Mahjong for hours. Didn't even realize that was an aspect of the convention that she could do. Made a lot of cool friends, learned something new. That was really a fun aspect of it. Vendors who are okay with having their wares to be shared, that's also a really good like aspect of it. So again, it's more of if there is a frequently asked question that you feel like your outlet is good to answer, by being able to either talk one-on-one with a creator, a creative, store owner, or even, people on site. It could even be cosplayers, but maybe looking more into the how did you make this? How do you navigate, the space as a cosplayer? Did you go to any photo shoots? Getting some of those photo shoot things. We just have a really big focus. Cosplay is the most visual first thing people see about a convention. And sometimes new attendees and some attendees may forget that there's really hundreds of hours of programming and exploration that they could do without having to cosplay, or by exploring different avenues of the convention space.
That's actually pretty good. I appreciate that. That actually means a lot.
Yeah.
On that, does the funny actual stuff like that help too? The funny different. You see people doing these funny little videos at conventions. Does those help as well?
I'll say this, and I hope people don't get mad at me. Those are the things that get a lot of engagement. Like lip sync videos and things are really funny and really good, but they're also some of the easiest content to make, if that makes sense. Lip sync videos and dance videos are some of the easiest content to make. And so it's easy to like really bolster people's numbers to show like, hey, there's a creator that has like 1 million followers. However, most of their content is, a cosplay in their room or a dance video where you don't really see anything else going on at the convention. Is it beneficial to have a high reach from our standpoint? If they're talking about Momocon, yes. But does it help to differentiate Momocon from any other convention space? No, not really. Unless there's like, unless they're at like Centennial Park or something where it's like, this is a space you can only get in Atlanta because not everybody has a giant Ferris wheel or Centennial Park or, a specific area for photo shoots. So the goal is, what does Momocon have to offer that is, again, maybe less visual, that you can help make more exciting by either talking to people, showcasing it. And again, even if you did do like a skit or something like around those spaces, just making sure that it kind of helps to highlight Momocon specifically and not just any convention that could have taken place at the Georgia World Carver Center.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much about that. EJ, what you got?
So that kind of goes on into my question, but I want to know about you particularly. What form of nerddom do you identify with the most? Since you're talking about versatility of Momocon, that works. And then see that you do some cosplay. So what is your favorite cosplay that you've ever done?
Yes. So first aspect of that is I'm a huge animation cartoon fan. I have watched cartoons since Cartoon Network, pre-Cartoon Network existence. And I have just continued on through that era. And I love this era that we're in right now of indie animation that is able to like test and push the boundaries of what we can watch. So I love supporting it. I'm a huge Digital Circus fan. I'm a huge Has Been Hell of a Boss fan. I actually have a Hell of a Has Been sing along panel at Momocon this year. And I plan to try to go to the Amazing Digital Circus voice panel, which is on Thursday, and cosplay from that as well. So like I said, if I were to put energy into things, it is usually animated adjacent. Anime is also great, but I find that over the years, like unless I find something that's like Sakoshi Kon level good, like I usually am like, okay, this will be on in the background. Like it's been a while since I've really been like a I think Chainsaw Man was the last anime that I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad to watch this, but I also read it. So that said, in terms of
That's how
cosplay,
I feel about what story is, so I feel you.
oh yeah. um, so in terms of cosplay, I would say obviously my most expensive ones that I did not build. Shout out to Really Awesome Works. He made my Hawthorne um, Star Command like Space Ranger costume, which is what's in that picture you guys have like right there. And then he also made my Wakanda Ironheart armor, which I wore at Dragon Con. So both these I wore at Dragon Con. I think I did wear this at Momocon of the year that I got it, but it's not easy to walk in. So I have not worn it again. And I may not necessarily wear it again until I lose a little bit of this baby weight because it was made for me at a particular size. The Ironheart art, however, was made in mind with me getting pregnant. So it has a more adjustable bodice area. So I could definitely wear it again. But I probably will not wear it for this Momocon because we'll be juggling a baby and we want to make sure that, we can handle her, and I can't handle anything when I'm in that armor. Like I am locked into it when it does. But pretty much anytime I get to make a costume, I feel like it's just so much fun to meet other fans and try out different things like makeup and props. I've been cosplaying for 10 years. I don't have a 3D printer. I do not know how to style a wig. I would prefer not to hand bead anything. Like I'm a very thrifty and or buy it and adjust it type cosplayer right now. And but it still has so much fun doing it. And a lot of my friends who make these bigger builds and who can do like a whole bunch with it, I absolutely love to see that for them. And maybe one day, well, I don't know. Now I don't have any time. All my time and energy is going to this little one, most likely outside of it. But I still feel like I can make a really good creative outlet from the costumes I'm making. So I'm excited for this year to do, like I said, a digital circus costume. And I made a little helmet she probably won't wear for like a prop thing for my child. And then there's another indie show called Pretty Please, I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl. And I wore that last year, and I'm going to test today to see if I can get into it to wear for this year as well, maybe on like a Saturday. So yeah, I'm just a huge fan of if I can cosplay from those shows, even if they're like growing in popularity or less popular, then it helps to bring awareness to them and hopefully keep them, turn them from indie to just like a, I don't know, small business level animation studio. I'm not really sure how that works, but give them more visibility.
Okay, got one more question.
Yeah.
Since you were the media director formerly, and now you're a senior director for Momocon, what goes into controlling the public media image with a con this big?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we, as the convention, work very closely with an actual like PR company. They're called Leff and Associates. Mitch Leff is the owner of this. We've worked with him for maybe a decade at this point. Definitely multiple years since I have been involved. We've worked with him. There's another PR group called Stride. So while there is, Momocon is still very volunteer based. We have, I think, 2,200 volunteers that we are like this year, somewhere around that. Some of them are director level, some of them are like general volunteers, some of them are senior directors. There's different levels. So we really do help maintain visibility and things on the con floor so that it runs smoothly. But we also do use agencies like Leff and Associates, Stride, to make sure that our like overall global image is maintained, because sometimes it gets beyond just us, like a lot of us have day jobs, and even though they may be adjacent, we still have to make sure, the con chairs of Momocon need to make sure that their brand is protected and that they are, going through very professional routes to keep that coverage. So like I said, leading up to it, Mitch Leff and his team, Kim, they help us to get, 11 Alive. Like if you see Momocon mentioned in the news, like things like that, really do come from their assistants. The con chairs make sure there's a billboard on 85. I don't know, there's at least one. So if you're going up 85 near like Piedmont, Peachtree, Piedmont, you can see a Momocon billboard. That helps the brand to really stand out on a, I would say, global to regional level. And it's just wonderful that they're also just great people. We have calls with them, we're able to talk with them, have meetings with them. They just had a wonderful idea, and they want to make sure that idea is protected and amazing and continues growing throughout, like you said, year 30, year 40, going into the future.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
So we have another guest in here. The Barry White of the voice, the Barry White of the group, right? D, who actually goes to video games. What's up, D? What's happening, sir?
How are you? I didn't know I was a guest. I thought I was a member, but carry on.
Did I say the word guest?
You definitely did.
Take it. Take the title.
Guess right. Guest in the show. So what's up, D? Yeah. Do you have a question for Renee?
I really don't. I am late. And I'm just listening. If something comes up, I'll raise my hand. No bet.
So, Renee, how long have you been doing? How long you've been a part of Momocon? I don't know if you actually answered that question. I don't think you have.
That's a good question because it's either 2016 or 2018, and I feel like it's 2016 that I started. So this may be my 10th year going on working with Momocon. I know I should really celebrate more than I did or do, but yeah, so about 10 years, and everything has been great. I mean, I was attending the convention since 2008, or 2008, 2009. So I had years where, we're on the Georgia Tech campus and we moved around to different hotels. I did press. I used to do a show called The Aficionados with my friends, Derek, Mason, Jabron, a whole bunch of people. We did that for a bit, and then I took on the title and the role in 2016 or 2018, and it's just been a super exciting experience since then. So, yeah.
That's actually awesome.
Okay, I do have a question. So my question to you is this: as far as advertising goes for this event, which is massive, what do you do as far as maybe radio ads?
So I kind of mentioned before, but that's still a great question. The con chairs, Jess and Christopher, they are the ones who started the convention. Jess really is the one who started. Chris is is a co-chair. They're co-chairs. She does a lot of the marketing, whether she's working with an agency or posting directly. I know for a fact, for social media, we use a program so that we can queue up different things and she can post them over time when she gets guest announcements, things like that. I cannot say I know if we've done radio. Have you heard a radio ad? So before I say it, I don't know.
I have not, which is going to lead me up to my follow-up question.
Okay, so I don't know that we've done radio, but we do have a billboard. We do run ads on social media, so Instagram, Facebook, and there's a lot of kind of external events, and just like any business, they're listed on the Chamber of Commerce website, or not Chamber of Commerce, maybe it's Chamber of Commerce, but the ACVB, which is Convention Bureau website. So a lot of that is initiated by Jess or Chris, or again, some of the other supporting business planning volunteers, or sometimes agencies that we work with.
Okay, my follow-up question to that is this. I hear that you all have different advertisements running everywhere. A billboard doesn't apply to what I'm about to ask you next, but as far as these ads on social media, is there a voice behind these ads?
Actually, there are. We have, I don't know if some of the general ads have a voice or if they're just visuals, because I'm usually navigating with the sound off on my socials. However, I do know that we have our main characters. So there's a character group of like mascots that are attached to the convention. And Nora and, oh my God, I'm going to say her name wrong. Starts with an M. Mona, thank you. Nora and Mona are like our two main characters, mascots. And then there's Momo, the monster. They do have voices, but I don't know that the other ones do. We have like Oscar and other people. I should know all the names of them right now, but I do not. But if you look at any of like the badges and the badge art, there's like different characters on those. But I've not heard that they have any specific voices yet. I think I can see where this is going though.
Oh, then do enlighten me, please.
Oh. Oh, you were going to see, is it possible you'd be interested in voicing over ads for the convention?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But you did leave out one part to that.
Okay.
Absolutely free for now.
Oh, you know what? Maybe not as many people know this, and I don't know how often I'm supposed to share this, but people are going to email it regardless. If you email info@momocon.com, the con chair will receive it. So if you have something like a reel or like a voice thing, shoot your shot and see how that works. You know, that may be something that they need going forward, because we do have 3 male characters and your voice does sound similar. Your voice aligns with at least 2 of them potentially that I've seen. One of them is kind of like a twinkie redhead character, and no offense, but you're not giving that really with your voice. So, but the other 2, very potentially.
Well, shoot your shot, bro. We all shoot our shot.
You know, to each his own. That's the boat he rides. That's the boat he rides.
No. Yes, but I mean, I think that is, like I say, there's always options if you have like a reel or like something that you can put together. But also along the lines of that, if you are going to Momocon, there are a ton of like how to get into voice acting, how to get into indie animation, VTuber panels that are probably really good to go to. Specifically at DragonCon, we kind of had a situation where like we had a voice acting panel, and then right after that we had a indie animator talking about their work, and they were like, we're actually looking for voice actors. So, you know, being part of a convention can actually really help with that community building and that resume building, and finding those areas that you can provide your resources to, because there is always a creative looking for something. And like I said, you may find a place to add your voice into an indie project, whether it's an animated thing. We talked earlier about indie games. Games also need voice acting, and there's tons of indie creators that are on the game floor. As well as like you may be interested in doing something like VTubing, or you know, starting your own YouTube where you talk about whatever, but you have such a very alluring voice that you could, you know, use that to gain more followers, things like that. So
let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that almost 300 miles to the east of me, there's a con that actually has more than just gamers and gaming setups? They're actually indie gaming creators that are actually there looking for things. 300 miles that way.
Yeah. At least 2, but one is coming up next weekend.
I think you should start traveling those 300 miles that way. So
I agree.
There.
If you start walking now, you may make it here by Thursday. Like, I don't know.
You got to put that on Google Maps. Use Waze. Use the Batman voice. R.I.P. Kevin Conroy.
Yes. So I'm definitely saying it's much more than gaming. Well, again, we do have a lot of gaming. Like the number this year is like 1.5 million square feet of gaming. We're in the A and B hall of George Will Congress Center.
Oh, I know where that's at.
Yeah. We also have the panels and programming. If you're ever interested, even if you're not coming this year, download the Momocon app and just search for different, like the different panels, voice acting or indie, you know, getting into the industry, stuff like that. You can kind of see how some of those hundreds of hours can really apply to anything you're looking for.
That's insane. That is intriguingly insane. 300 miles that way.
I have a question.
You just gave D some lives. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what I'm here for, is to help to increase the amount of our attendance, but also not just for attendance sake, but also for you guys to learn something, for you to actually have fun and go out. Because yes, you could go and you could spend the whole weekend literally sitting on the con floor playing mahjong for, was it 24 hours times 3.5? Or you could, play DDR for that long, or because the gaming floor is open 24 hours. So there's that. Yeah, from 2:00 Thursday through Sunday close, you can be on the gaming floor, and that's the tabletop games area and the electronic, like arcade games as well.
So you see why I say Momocon is a vibe, okay?
It's the best convention around. Like, it is the best convention. That's why I call it my home convention.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Glenn, oh my God. Could have done with all of this.
Listen, start walking.
Yeah.
It's a comfortable shoe. Start walking.
Yeah.
300 miles, are you Alabama?
Yeah, I'm Birmingham.
Oh, that's only 3 hours.
And if that, the way I drive.
Yeah, that's 3 hours down, but not 20. Yeah, 20? Is that
still 20 east?
So I need to move a Pamela's out the way and tell you, come on down, D?
No, you still ain't told me no information about getting a room yet. I don't move until I got a roof over my head.
Yeah, that's smart. That planning does take a little bit longer than 5 days most of the time. So, but in the future,
I'm going to fix up in 3 minutes.
I will say this: that gaming is rather impressive. I'm a retired gamer now. I don't do tournaments and stuff anymore. I'm done with that life. I put my joystick down, but that would still be impressive to see.
Oh yeah, and they have casual tournaments, or they call it like couch tournaments, where you don't play for money per se. I mean, they have ones you can play for money, but they also have ones where, like, if you just want to play with a group of randos at, Call of Duty or Smash or whatever the newer thing is, you can just pick up controller, play a little bit, and be like, that was fun, and then walk off and do something else.
We were also told to get some content from the gaming floor as well. So
I hope that Gundam thing is there again this year.
The Gun Club building?
No, not the Gun Club building. They had like a Gundam game, on the gaming floor. It's like a big thing.
It's
like a big thing. I've always seen it. I've never gotten a chance to do that because we've been doing press. Like, hardly had a chance to get down there. There's like,
man,
is this the year?
Is it the one where you can go in it and it like covers you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like VR, but it's not VR. You know that? I wish I knew the answer to that. I played that once at Dragon Con years ago, but it is very likely that we have a lot of the returning vendors and like gaming setups. I know VR is always coming back and things like that too. So make time. Like I said, get your schedule together, make time to go do those things. I don't know if that's part of the 24-hour aspect, but if it is, you should definitely make time to go.
I hope so. Between that and like the Pokemon Momo League that y'all have every year, which is fantastic for Pokemon players, and with champions being a thing now. Like,
wait, did I just hear that right?
Yes, you did.
That actually is this whole department. There's a director of the Peach League, is what it's called, because copyright, who makes sure that, like, that's how important it is. There's a particular person whose job at the convention is to help run just the Peach League.
So it's got its own little section and everything. You get badges if we're running through it. So they got gym leaders there. It's a whole thing. It's a vibe there.
Hold on one second. I'll let you. I promise I'll let you.
I apologize.
No, you're good.
We love this excitement.
So yeah, exactly. So Renee, I just wanted to point out, right, because I know everything happens for a reason, right? I believe in that wholeheartedly, right? And I was explaining to JB, I was like, bro, there's some things that we don't ever get to cover because we'd be stuck in the room, even though it's not bad. Being stuck in the room, doing getting the interviews with the guests and stuff like that. But there is so much other things that we miss because we have to be on that schedule. We can't necessarily be on our own schedule. That I literally have to have like a 3-man crew just to cover Momocon across all platforms I want to get it. So this is going to give me a chance where I can cover the stuff that I've always wanted to cover, and obviously get to that level and get a whole nother crew to cover the room, and then switch out another day so I can get because I might like covering the floor or covering the convention versus being in the room. Even though, again, there's nothing wrong with covering the room.
Yeah.
You meet so many other people, right? And you have so many other different conversations with other people. Like it's really amazing because obviously you can't really talk to the a special guest guy or gal and after the fact because they had to go where they need to go. But this is an opportunity you can really build friends, have more of a conversation, do more things type thing. So yeah,
that's an important note as well, because we have seen a shift overall, and it's kind of like, on one hand, it kind of stinks because we see a lot of voice actor panels. All of the people who we consider like our special guests are not necessarily coming to the interview room anymore. And understandably, social media is a very wide place. A lot of these people have agents that need to make sure that they're, as you mentioned with Momocon, but their own agents and agencies are containing a message. They are maybe less comfortable going forward speaking with smaller indie creators. And as well as we try to, as good as a job as we do in the interview room, and as I would say it's Dana and Raven do in the interview room to like help moderate and to make sure no one asks any crazy questions, people feel comfortable. We just find that the time, and also the guests are finding that their time is much more optimized when they're at their table. Obviously, it makes them, some money. They can do autographs. They can meet as many people as possible in that time because those lines are very long, or at their panels where they can, have that time to really communicate and vibe and kind of like bounce back information with a group of people from that same show or the same media source, if that makes sense. So while you may not be able to get into the interview room and the meeting room this year, I would say, and we don't necessarily allow like straight up interviews at guest table. I mean, this sounds crazy to say, but cons. If you want a picture, if you want a video, like they'll usually have like pricing for that, and they have to. So like you're always welcome to like ask and to do like, if you're paying for something, they're gonna like maybe answer a question. You don't have to pay to answer a question. I want to make sure I say this correctly. You don't have to pay for them to like answer a question for you. But if you want to get like a video or a picture, stuff like that, that's always an option. But the panels are really good opportunities to go up and actually do a Q&A with them.
Right.
And you don't need like you just have to get in line with other people. But like if there's something like let's say the Dan panel, you really wanted to ask a question that you would have asked in the interview room, you would just go up, I'd say get in line a little early, and then just go to the Q&A line.
Just send me in line first, Glenn, so I can lead block for us.
Do what now?
So you got to send me first so I can lead block and pave the way so we can get them questions in.
Right? I know completely. So yeah, thank you. Go ahead, D. What you saying? What you need to say? Sorry about that.
So wait a minute. This con is so massive; it has its own Pokemon League.
Yes.
So hold on. That's all. I'm understood on what I'm asking. Pokemon League, gym leaders, and Elite Four a champion, the whole shebang.
Well, not necessarily Elite Four, but gym leaders.
I mean, you may find some cosplayers who are their own, like, who dress up like that. But in terms of actual, like, playability and, like, the competition, yes, they do have that. We expected last year's about 62K, and we ended up with 58K attendees. So this year, the goal is to try to beat that as well. But at minimum, we're probably going to have 50 to 60K of people who are in attendance. So,
okay, just say that so casually. Why don't you?
I mean, it's only grown every year that we've been in attendance. I mean, it started with less than 2,000 people, maybe even less than 200 people on the Georgia Tech campus in like 21 years ago. So the fact that we've, passed 20, 30, 40,000, 50, 14, 60,000 people It's just more people learning about it, like yourself, and then being able to, because of that and because of the support and how much fun people have, we can expand to make sure we're listening to what fans want and providing with those opportunities. Because sometimes it just takes, a volunteer or a group of people to say, "Hey, I'm happy to run that for the weekend."
All right, two things. One, like Momocon is a top 5 biggest convention in the entire Southeast. Like,
it's actually the biggest. It's actually the biggest gaming convention in the Southeast.
Yeah, I'm talking about like overall. I mean, like whether it's just anime or just games, like it's top 5 in the region.
Possibly
like,
top
of any
3,
kind.
but
No,
yes.
It's gaming convention is number 1.
Yeah, gaming. Yeah, but I'm talking about of any kind, like
general
general conventions. Like it's top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, okay.
So, like, MegaCon, DragonCon, and
I've been to AWA.
Yeah, that's the list of them.
MegaCon, yeah,
Momocon.
Like, the only reason why, the whole thing I hesitate because I wasn't sure if there was something else that was in between there, but it's not that many more that do more. And in terms of versatility, it's definitely the best. It's definitely the biggest. But Renee, what I want to know is, because we talked about the chairs and we know about all the stuff that you do. Like, if you're watching this and you see Renee at a convention, she's usually just see the back of her head. She's on the move. She's doing something. You say hi, she'll say hi. She'll be on the move. That's just how she goes during the conventions.
It do be like that. I apologize.
No, it is fine because everything you do is for the good of the convention and it's appreciated. But what I want to do for you right now is give you the opportunity to give the flowers to the people who are like you, who are behind the scenes, that are doing the work that we don't necessarily get to shout out or talk about. So who are those unsung heroes for Momocon?
Dang, there's such a list, and I'm definitely going to forget somebody because there are so many departments. But I mean, I've already said Chris and Jess, they're amazing. Michelle, who is like the senior director over like volunteers, she has a big job to make sure that, anyone who's coming through to support the convention, is communicated with. She runs a team of people as well to help make sure that the volunteers have everything that they need. Even under her, I don't know if it's under her, I think it's a different department, but Lakeisha, who helps keep those volunteers fed and chill. She has there's a whole room for volunteer lounge for any volunteers throughout the weekend to go get some snacks, get a soda, sit down, play some games, and just decompress before they go back on their shift. Let's see. I'm trying to go through Abby, who has to manage all of the programming. She looks at probably more applications than I look at throughout the weekend, and has to actually read and make a lot of decisions on what does and does not go into the app and gets, posted and cut. And then there's always going to be people who are upset about different things. So having to verify those decisions, Abby is really great. Her team is really great. Like I said, Dana and Raven, who are the first and second for media relations. You've met them. They're just doing God's work in the media room to help keep everybody, who comes through creating content, help give them some snacks. Dana is actively helping to find interviews of those who are able to come through, which ends up being, cosplayers, indie developers, vendors, things like that. So she's putting in that hard work at the very beginning. Who else under my team or is in the media? Quinn, Jamie. Quinn is film crew. Jamie is photography. He and Adam do an amazing job of just capturing him and their team, capturing the convention from our standpoint. Moderators, Dee and Carrie, who's also becoming a mom. So amazing. Congrats to her. They are, moderator department is amazing. Gray, who's social media. So during the convention, obviously, Jess is hiding. Some of the con-chairs are they're hiding or doing other things. So we have a social media department under Gray, and they are going throughout the convention, sending their team out to capture all this fun stuff that goes onto the official channels for Momocon. I know I'm forgetting someone under my team, and I feel really bad about that. Social, film crew, photography, moderators, media relations. And yeah, maybe that's it. But if not, I feel really bad.
So how do you
her mind and not her heart, people?
Yes, exactly.
So let me ask you a question. How do you become a moderator?
Yeah, so there's a team for that. Like I said, Deandra D is the current director of that area. So any volunteer starts with event name. So in probably that October, November, maybe even before then, you would go to momocon.com/volunteers. You look for the application, you fill that out. It's usually through a website called EventMe. And you can choose which department you want to be in. The moderators is kind of similar area or similar feedback or situation that we have with the interviews is typically moderators are also they go on stage to help guide conversations with guest panels or any larger panels that need the support. But if they're not doing that Q&A moderating on stage, they're also doing running as the Q&A. I'm sorry, I'm talking so slow. They're running the Q&A mic to help moderate those questions that come through. So we are less likely to have somebody come up, ask a very controversial question because we're kind of like asking it ahead of time and letting them go up. Of course, there's things slip through or have slipped through, but it's like that person's really big responsibility to just help make sure that our guests and our audience have a very comfortable time to with that Q&A process. So they do a mix of those two things. So I would say just to start, you would apply and fill in that you're interested in that department. And then they do have like a research time. They may have even a small internal application or interview process with Dee or Carrie, just to make sure, the person that they're putting in these positions is ready for, large audiences, small audiences, to represent Momocon when they are doing this back and forth and questioning with, whether it's with the audience or with a guest.
That's actually amazing. I appreciate that. So one question I have that we have not touched, we kind of touched everything about the convention and stuff like that. Why should a new person come to Momocon? What makes them what's the attraction for them?
Yes. So I would say the main reason to come to Momocon is for the hundreds of hours of programming, panels, musical highlights, obviously cosplay opportunities and information, indie and local conversations and industry discussions that can be had within this programming. There's also dance events, there's K-pop events, there's pretty much any level of fandom that exists that, the masses are into. Momocon touches on those aspects. And at the root of it all, there's also our huge gaming floor where you can actually be, engaged in a game, any number of games, tabletop games, electronic games, like I said, couch tournaments, casual play, Pokemon League. There's really so many areas that it touches. So if you are looking for any level of fandom experience, Momocon would be the place to be. And because Atlanta is such an amazing city, my favorite. If you live in Atlanta, you know that it is in a space very local to a lot of other attractions. So it's a great opportunity for, even if you're just coming for a day, to explore Momocon and then explore the rest of the city or other attractions nearby. We're within walking distance of the aquarium, Centennial Park. We're right downtown at the Georgia World Congress Center. Or if you're staying all weekend, there's great opportunities to even stay locally and be supported like that. And if you're coming in from out of town, bringing your family, Momocon is an all ages experience. They're an all ages convention, which means that the programming throughout the day is appropriate for all ages. Kids can enjoy it, teens, adults, and with the exception to maybe some content warning panels that would be notated in the app or in the schedule. And usually those are like after hours, and definitely like in their own spacing. And that will usually only involve something that is like cursing or really cursing. Cursing is like the major content warning. Anything that gets too mature. Like there's no specifically 18 plus panels that occur at Momocon.
Love it, love it, love it. What do you got, JB?
Man, that was it, man. She answered everything I have for her. Like she shouted out everybody. She talked about how like what goes into the work on a year over year and when the work begins for her. She's talked to us about, man, like just on what goes into it, what we got coming this year, and how 21 is gonna be better than 20. So she even gave you how, like, if you want to be a volunteer, how to go about doing that. She gave us how, if you want to be a moderator, what's the path like to be that. She even made a path for us, and we're not even doing press this year. So we already got a mission. So we got a mission thanks to her. So I got nothing.
It sounds like you're excited, JB. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, man, it's Momocon, man. Momocon. I told you it's my home convention, man. It's a family reunion. It's a family affair on a year-over-year basis, and of course, every year-over-year, they do better. They up the ante every year. Like you already know, man. Like we got games, we got anime, we got Dan the Dance coming this year. And then listen, ain't no Dan the Dance slander at all. Science Sorrow did they big one. Okay, I know they're doing Ghost in the Shell this year. I don't care. Dan the Dance their big one. And Corey Kenshin's gonna be there this year. We already talked about Critical Role. Like, yeah, let the games begin. We're just a few days away.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And one thing that maybe this will be a soundbite, or like, I don't know. This is my personal opinion about Momocon, and this may sound controversial, but hopefully not. But like, I mean, Atlanta is a very culturally like diverse city. And there are a ton of really good conventions. Let's say there's a ton of conventions that pop up, and people always looking like, where are the Black conventions? Where are conventions run by Black people? Momocon is so Black. Like like the con chairs are not Black, but we have so much diversity in the convention space with the photo shoots. There actually is a Black Nerd photo shoot. Pretty sure it's Sunday. And there are the topics of conversation regarding Black indie creators, Black magical girls, like things like that are all wrapped into the app. And I know that's, different than saying that this is a Black con. So I'm not going to say like this is a Black con and it's run by Black people. But if you come to Momocon, you will feel very at home. Like you said, it's your home con. You'll feel very at home. You'll meet a ton of people who are within your same realm, and not just Black, like again, multicultural. We have the, not just K-pop panels, which has become much more popular because it's not just K-pop Demon Hunters, just K-pop in general has been a global phenomenon. But I mean, I have a friend who's doing a panel about how to plan to visit Japan. Like there's just things about our convention that really tap into this international of guests and this very localized of the people who are visiting. So I just feel really strongly and very excited about that every year, that, our visibility as Black nerds really can shine. And, I want more fans who are waiting for like where that localized convention is going to come from to know that Momocon is a great start for that. So come to Atlanta, come to Momocon. You're going to have a great time. You're going to meet so many new people, and you're going to want to come back year after year just because it's hard to do everything in one go. And, we want this to be people's home con, even if they're coming from a different part of the country or the world.
Well, you know what? I do have a question for you now that I thought about it. Because I asked Dana this on my pod. What are some advice that you would have for congoers? Like whether it's first timers, like the voice over here, or veterans. What advice would you give them just for enjoyability and survivability?
That is a good question. That could be a whole separate video as well. But I would say first and foremost, know that Atlanta is just like any other city. It's like any other metro area where you should always be cognizant of like your surroundings. I think Atlanta is very safe. I live just miles away from the Georgia World Congress Center. I love Atlanta. So just treat coming into a convention, coming to a metro city with the same like safety thought process that you would for that. Don't leave stuff in your car without being there. Don't maybe travel and navigate too far from the convention space alone, or even like in a costume, especially a costume where you don't really have a good visibility. Like you can be in costume, walk around. That happens all the time here in Atlanta, even without conventions. But just be aware of your surroundings and cognizant that when you are and aren't leaving a convention space, wear comfortable shoes, or at least pack them. Girlies with the heels, I know you think you can walk in them for hours and hours. If you can, yay. If not, pack some slippers, pack some sneakers. There are lockers on site. So even if you want to, travel the floor in your, amazing shoes, pay for a locker for the day and put your sneakers in there and just grab them on your way out so that you feel more comfortable and you're not hindered again when you're traveling or walking back and forth from your hotel or, going to get food, things like that. Food is expensive. Plan to afford to eat or pack ahead. Most of the hotels have a microwave somewhere on site. And if you're staying in a hotel, you probably only have a refrigerator, but there's usually a microwave somewhere on like the ground level or like near the other food areas. So just know that you can do that. That's an okay thing to do. You can bring food into the convention center. Apparently that's a thing you can't do in all spaces somehow recently, but you can, bring a backpack, bring food into the spaces so that you can, eat and snack throughout the time that you're there, because there is a lot of walking. The convention center is huge. That I mentioned is 1 million square feet of gaming. Plan ahead if you have, can stash some money away to support the vendors and the artists that are there. We definitely want to always, always, always make sure that this is a great convention for them. Obviously, having 65,000 people will help to, make their time coming in worth it. But, your badge gets you to free panels, free workshops, all these free aspects. Spend a little money on those indie creators, or even like at Wonderfest, if there's something that you've been saving up for, feel free. You should be encouraged to like spend at those spaces, and then enjoy all the free other stuff that comes with your badge. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that. It's hot. Drink water. This is the summertime. It's summertime. I mean, it's still technically spring, but it's summertime. It's gonna be hot. Drink water. Bring a water bottle.
86 today, right?
It was, and I went outside, and it was hot, but I was okay. But it's getting there. So imagine being in the center of downtown with a bunch of other people. Bring a water bottle or plan to, purchase water and refill a bottle. However you got to do that. Don't skip on that. I always say this, just because it's clear doesn't mean it's good to drink throughout the whole convention. You can imbibe if you're of age and that's something you want to do, but drink water. That should be rule number one, honestly. And then just generally take care of yourself. There's, physically and emotionally, there's like an AFK room. I can't tell you exactly where it is yet. I'm not sure, but there's an AFK room on site. If you get overstimulated, you can just go there to chill and relax. There's also like a manga library that if you just need like a more quiet space to be, take care of your mental health. There's a lot of people around, a lot of people who are into fandoms. Sometimes they're not very like, this may be their first convention and they're not used to being around so many people, or they have like maybe a social anxiety. All of that is very normal for us. So don't think that you have to push through it and be in a crazy loud space. You can, find places to remove yourself, even if that's going into a panel room and just sitting in the back and just chilling for a bit. But look up those resources in the app and on the website so that you can be ready for it. And yeah, download the app, put your schedule together so that you can plan the best weekend possible. And then, of course, know what you want to go to next year.
Heavy on the app usage. Yes. Like, that can be a lifesaver. That can make the difference between you enjoying your convention and you being sad about something. Multiple things are rerun over the course of the weekend. So if you miss a show that's on Friday, it might be running back again on Sunday or Saturday or later on that day or something similar.
Yeah.
Plan to act accordingly. And Glenn, I want you to chime in with one after that because Renee just gave about 75% of it right there. Wash your hands and wash your ass. And wear deodorant, please.
Yeah, please don't make us be that con.
Listen, I don't know why I want to get canceled, but it is very important. Hygiene is very important. I know Renee touched on it. You touched on it in a very strong way. Hygiene is very important.
Yeah, that's it. Be strong. That's why I said it like that.
If you have friends that you have around you, ask them what do you currently smell like, right?
Man, look, all right, look, let's just be real. No one wants you to smell you smell like Fulton County Correctional Facility water. I'm not doing it.
And don't use Axe. Don't use Axe. Please.
No. Go, as the old folks said in the country.
Go get some Old Spice. Get you a 2-for-1.
No, bro, they need to go bathe. BAZE.
They definitely need to go bathe, but I'm saying, though.
I would say Old Spice is great. I use it because it's not just like, it's, that used to be like the grandpa scent, but they have scents like, what is it, Bear Claw and Wolf Rain that are really, like, those are the ones that I buy. They're like fruity. So, like,
it's amazing. I can't lie. Use them.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into talking about scents and cologne. That's a whole other conversation.
Oh, man.
All right. So, Renee, did we miss out on anything? Because I know I really thought we'd only be talking for 30 minutes, but we talked longer than that. Did I miss?
I do have another question. Okay, when it comes to the security of your convention, how do you all go about hiring security for this event? Or is it provided by the local Metropolitan Police Department?
Yeah, so it is kind of like a threefold thing. We have obviously at the top level, Atlanta Police are always going to be ahead of any convention that's coming into town. So they're a big support of the event, as well as the local security for Georgia World Congress Center. And then even on just like a safety level of just having someone in our volunteer spaces that can, almost like a first point of contact if somebody has anything to go to. We do have a safety department within Momocon, and they work very closely with Georgia World Congress Center and local authorities for anything that needs to be escalated.
Okay, with your faction or echelon be looking for someone who's a licensed security guard, both armed and unarmed, in and out of your state?
Well, again, we pretty much use Georgia World Congress Center for all of those needs, just because it has to be, just everything is really contracted through that level.
Man, you ain't got to be security, man. Just come on.
Yeah, don't try to
hey man, hey, look, listen. I'm a man of finite business, okay? If there's a will and there's a way, I'm gonna ask a question. Whether it be me being security getting in there, maybe it's be me doing a voiceover spot and getting famous for it and being there, or me just being a normalized person patronizing the con. I'm going to maximize my efficiency in finding out information and possible avenues to do things.
Absolutely. Like I said, in the future, volunteer for safety, that is actually like a very, like I said, they're kind of the front line if anyone has any questions. There's also Jess's favorite department to push is crowd control. They really help to make sure, like, lines go where they're supposed to go. You don't necessarily have to have a lot of experience behind that, but it is just a really helpful way to talk to a lot of people and help our large convention just stay very safe for everybody. So, this year, don't worry about that. If you just want to come, you should just come. But next year, when applications open up, and if you want to, like I said, our volunteers do get very good perks. Not only do they get a badge for the weekend, we have after party. They have like a volunteer lounge with snacks and things on site. There's like free swag that they give away, like you get a water bottle, t-shirt, like all those different things. So it's a definite benefit. And I do hear that we are probably, and if anybody asks, you didn't hear from me, but I've heard that we will probably max out our volunteers in the coming years, just because we have so much interest in people coming through. So if that is something you want to do, I would just check that early.
I appreciate that, Renee.
Yeah, that's quite profound.
Yeah. Anytime.
I appreciate that. Okay, so all right, so I think we covered everything. Obviously, you guys have a cosplay contest. They go to registration, right? Is this on Saturday or is this on Friday?
We have there's at least a couple, so I would double check. I know there's like a main costume contest that has to be like pre-applied to, and I think we also have like a closet contest or hallway contest that go on through the weekend, or probably that's like a Friday and then Saturday.
All right, and then yeah, I mean, I don't know. What's your most exciting thing for this convention this year for you?
Honestly, I'm just excited to be there with. I'm excited for my panel. We did it last year. It was such a fun thing. We do a.
You're always in panels. You do panels all 3 years.
I try to just do one this year.
Moderation, all that.
I know I've scaled back over the years. I used to do it all, but we are. I was trying to find the name of this charity because I wanted to make sure I had mentioned that as well. I think it's called. I don't want to think. I just want to say what it is. It's like Stop the Shame. I cannot find where it is, but we do have an official charity each year. I'm pretty sure it is Stop the Shame, and it is like mental health focused. But even though I don't call it a charity sing along, we have a sing along that has a video of the lyrics from the Has Been and Hell of a Boss music. Of course, that does have a content warning because language. And I do ask for donations from people to go up on stage and lip sync. We don't give them a mic because we want it to be a fun experience for everybody. We don't want them to be nervous. They can go up on stage and lip sync to their favorite song. And so last year we raised about $100 or so or a couple $100 just from that panel. And then when people aren't lip syncing, we're all just kind of singing in the room. So I really love being able to host that and just kind of singing our hearts out with everybody in one space is super duper fun. So I'd say I'm most excited for that. And then just again, being on site, having my daughter experience her first convention, even though she will remember none of it and she can only see 2 feet in front of her. But, you know, it would be a fun experience to try to just kind of dress up with her and just have her experience what her parents really love to do. And, you know, hopefully make this a tradition or just at least introduce her to what she could be interested in the future.
Future chair.
That's
There
right.
you go.
No.
Yeah, maybe she wants to start her own con. You know,
No.
that would be really cute because, you know, are we going to all want to do this at year 40? We're going to be tired. So
Instead of being a con chair, she could be a con high chair.
Hey,
I love that. I'm going to put that in our Discord, and I think that's going to chuckle.
How are you going to talk about me like that? I'm 41 years old. You can't talk about me. I'm still doing it. I need to slow down. But yeah, I think I really think you actually really answered all the questions. I want to say that I appreciate you and everything that you do. I appreciate the effort and the communication, the love that you've given just in the time frame that we've had this. I know this is probably like our 3rd interview. Twice back to back, once back to back, but we've had some years prior to that. And I just really want to tell you, I truly, truly thank you so much. I'm moving the mic out the way. It really means actually a whole lot to me and what you've done and how have you given us the grace of your time. I really, really appreciate it, especially in this moment. Days
before you go in. Days before.
Believe me, I'm about to go I say I don't really do a lot of like, I can sew and I have my sewing machine. So I'm pretty much everything is Velcro at this point. So it can be easily put together, easily moved if I need to, you know, navigate how my daughter's going to like get my hands free and do whatever. So that's what I'm just going to be doing for the next couple of days as I prepare, because we've sent out, you know, pretty much most of our emails. We got our will call and things set up. You know, I appreciate you guys for being really understanding about how the year has worked, but I also am so glad we got to talk about, you know, what makes an ideal application so that next year, you know, everybody can kind of stay ahead of it and not be overwhelmed by like, oh my gosh, we have so many applicants, because we want to first and foremost share the love of Momocon with everybody and allow those who are doing that to have just a great time and experience and want to come back year after year. And then of course, you know, you guys are coming through to do panels and programming. So you're already adding, even while being on site, to our convention in like a new way. So I really appreciate you guys for just, you know, being part of this year after year and helping us to grow. And I'm looking forward to saying hi. Come find me at specialty badge pickup because most likely I will be there. I will not necessarily be in the media room too often, but I will be on like that main level floor pretty much if I'm outside of my hotel room. So yeah.
So what time did you pick up badges? Badges available?
For sure Thursday. I have to check to see if there's a Wednesday time. Because if it's Wednesday, it's usually like 5 to 9, pretty much as whenever registration is open. So the registration hours are like 5 to 9 on Wednesday. And then Thursday, what is it, like 9 or 10 to 8. And then it's just like closes at 8 o'clock every day until Sunday. It closes at like 3. So most people will pick up either Thursday or Friday.
Awesome. I got to do this for you. Gotta give it a hand. That's right. Gotta give it a hand clap of applause. Yeah, Jamie, you have anything before we actually cut out?
No, I'm questioned out.
Well, yeah, Renee, I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. You just don't know. A big shout out to EJ jumping in. He jumping out. I guess he has some things. A big shout out for you, Excited D, because I've been trying to tell him for a while. You know, he's like, I don't know about any of this. Yeah, bro, like you're missing out. But anyways, it is what it is. We got to go. I got things I got to do. I got to go have a dinner with my family because my oldest is back in town from college. And yeah, that's actually my life right there. But listen, thank you guys so much for doing the show. Make sure you follow Renee on her social platforms. Make sure you follow JB on JB versus World. And make sure you check us out on our website, www.completenerdauthority.com for all the latest and greatest news and all the fun stuff we actually going to do at Momocon. Is going to be right there for you. We actually ready to watch it. But yeah, that's actually about it. Catch you guys on the next one, the 2 figures.
She's so ATL. She's so ATL.
ATL, what?
She's so ATL. She's so ATL.
Yeah, ho. No one does that anymore. I'll
start all the time.
These young kids, they don't do it no more. I don't know. You got to have like a millennial start it up, and then like the Gen Alphas know to do it.
I was at TNA Wrestling and we had a whole ATL ho moment.
I'm waiting. I want to pop up. If there's an ATL ho or there's a wobble, I'm there. Like that. Those are my. That's how you summon Renee.
Next time you get a wobble song for it, we actually see it. How about that?
I just whispered away ATL ho, ATL ho,
builds up.
ATL ho, ATL ho. Start swag surfing.
Holler at you guys on the next one.